Today we are reacting to infuriating TikToks so you know what massive mistakes to avoid on the drum set. Oh no. Then we'll react to infuriatingly good drummers so you can see what it really takes to stand out above 99% of all other drummers. And let's start off with all the infuriating things that you should avoid in your drum.
Today we're gonna find out how many alcoholic beverages I can have before I can't play drums anymore. Such a bad idea.
I agree. Ooh, those are some solid kicks.
No way, we're at 21 shots.
21? No. Oh, that Phil. The kicks are not terrible. Oh my gosh, no. Now Samus is taking this to the extreme here, but it brings up a good point. A lot of musicians like to have a drink or some type of substance before a performance to help them feel less nervous. Personally, I'm a way bigger fan of over preparing for a gig to ease nerves. Because if you practice your set 50 times before a performance, you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable than if you only practiced it 3 times and then chugged a couple drinks to try to make yourself feel better. And I guarantee you, you will play better also. I'm gonna rank each one of these clips from the best thing you can do to the worst thing you can do. So when it comes to a little bit of secret sauce, I'm gonna say it's not recommended.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He didn't hear him. He didn't hear him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. Of course, no singers are ever gonna listen to the drummer, even when you are Dave Grohl. I'm just gonna put it out there, guitar players should not be counting the song off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's leave that to the drummers. Not listening to the drummer, I'm going to biasly put that as bad. Oh. Respect for the drumstick break at the end there. I've certainly gotten my eye poked by a drumstick mishap in my day. It feels very bad. So drum injuries, I am gonna have to label as pretty bad, but not as bad as some of these other clips that are coming up.
Play.
John Stamos.
2, 3, 4.
I love John Stamos.
That's good.
Okay. There's no teaching happening here. Uh-oh. I'm getting Whiplash vibes already. Now he's just playing on her kit. Let's see the chops. Okay.
Do that.
Single stroke's on point, John Stamos, but your teaching skills are garbage. So many teachers will just like play a beat and expect the student to just pick it up by watching, but that's not teaching, that's just playing. And then as a student, you're actually just an audience member. So if you want to be a better music teacher, start by explaining instead of just playing. That's rule number 1. So being a bad teacher, I'm gonna put as infuriating. Now let's move on to clips that show us how to recover in a gig set. Oh. Oh, dude's mad. Okay, so clearly the music director wasn't happy because the drummer kept playing over a break. But honestly, I think the drummer was in the right here. Now, maybe he wasn't supposed to play, but he did a key thing that I think the music director should have realized. He made a mistake by playing over it, and then he paused and he repeated his mistake. And then it started to sound intentional. So I would say repeating mistakes is pretty awesome.
Tell us what you forgot for your drum set. A snare drum. So this is a tom with straws taped to it. You got little tiny
I've been here.
For snares now.
Okay.
And a ching ring.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Now, the first thing I do before any gig is make a checklist on my phone to make sure that I bring everything. And yes, I would include a snare drum on that list. Now, I think this snare could have actually had some improvements to it. I would have taken a pair of brushes from my stick bag and I would tape those to the bottom of my snare, creating that wiry snare sound that we're used to. And then actually I would put the ching ring at the top because by taping it to the bottom, you're losing some of that ring. For getting a snare at a gig, I'd label that as pretty bad. All right, Zach, I love you. Woo. Yeah. Oh, dude, they're so off. Oh, what a recovery. Whoa, that was impressive. Also, what's amazing about this is as soon as he goes into it, you can see the bass player's like, oh, this is sick. He's like grooving with it. And everyone just gets off. Oh, that's incredible. This was an amazing recovery. Zach like stopped and talked and then just like jumped back in. That was sick. So being too awesome for a gig, I'd say that's pretty awesome. But also be careful. We want to keep the whole band together. What the heck? Oh, the pedal. Yep. Pedal swap during a song is not easy or fun. We're back. Now my question is, for a double pedal, was it really necessary to take both pedals out in the middle of the song? I've broken numerous double pedals during a set, but I typically finish the song out with either just my left foot or just my right foot. I feel like that's a lot less of a distraction than what I just saw. It was creative, but there is a better way, so I'd say it's not recommended. Now let's get into clips that show us how to separate ourselves from other drummers through our skill, and there's a lot of good stuff coming up here. All right, Estepario, let's go. Drinking coffee while drumming, respect. Woo! He's multitasking in so many different ways. Oh my gosh. Uh-huh. Yep. All right, so he lit a candle, he drank, he smoked, and played drums. Respect. Estepario is a true testament to preparation at its highest level. You have to ask yourself, are you able to play this song under all conditions? Because Estepario was able to do it while multitasking in like 4 different ways. And yet I know other drummers where if their rack tom is moved 1 inch, they can't play the entire set. So if one thing's throwing you off, I think the problem is you. And Estepario is a perfect example of how ultimate skill is built through ultimate repetition. And that, I would say, is the best. Oh my gosh. Most insane singles of all time. Oh my God. Holy crap. This guy is an ultimate example of technique skills dialed up to 11. Being able to play at that speed with that precision is an ultimate testament to finger control and playing your drums as efficiently as possible. But the problem is, so many of us shy away from technique because it feels uncomfortable. But in fact, whenever something feels uncomfortable on the kit is when we should actually lean into it more. So technique mastery, I would say that's pretty awesome.
This is the world's first double pedal ever. Today we're going to put this thing to the test and see if I'm able to play some modern metal tracks on this literal piece of history.
Can we take a quick second to talk about how sick this drum recording sounds? I've actually been trying to work on my own drum mixing and learning to EQ better with a course called Mixing for Music Producers. I found this course on Skillshare and it's been helping me learn how to get a much better sound out of my drum recordings. Skillshare is the largest online learning community with thousands of classes led by industry pros across a ton of different topics, like music, photography, graphic design, cooking, business, and so much more. I wonder if this ancient double kick pedal has appeared on any of their history courses. Speaking of, let's keep watching this. Holy God of thunder. Woo! Chris Turner, the most skilled double kick player I will ever know in my life. This is a perfect example of why drummers should stop using gear as an excuse. And the way to do this is by actually practicing your parts off of the kit. Chris Turner, for example, he does most of his drum practice off the kit by just using the floor and a practice pad. And as a result, he can play insane things like that. So I would say no gear excuses, that's the best. And if you want to avoid excuses and learn a new skill this year, then invest in yourself with Skillshare. They've even designed design learning paths that help you speed up your progress from beginner to pro. And the first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 30-day free trial to Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now let's see how these drummers separate themselves from everyone else using creativity. Okay.
All right, here we go. 3 rebounds.
Oh, what?
Okay, never mind. That was 4.
That was maybe the sickest thing I've ever seen. I would say, like it or not, stick tricks can help separate you in a creative way, but the drum part always comes first. If you are doing too many stick tricks and you're messing up the actual part, I wouldn't recommend that. So overall, I would say stick tricks are pretty awesome. Oh wow, that is a narrow walkway. Woo! I mean, he came out like 1 second before hitting his first note. That is someone who is like dialed in and knows when they need to be on their throne. Being that dialed in for a performance and being ready to rock, I'd say that's pretty awesome. Woo! What? Oh. That's crazy. I think this is a perfect example of showing how if you can play your drums in new ways, it can be a huge avenue to expand your overall creativity. So getting new sounds on your kit, I would say pretty awesome.
He's catching on. Everybody run.
I loved Guitar Hero growing up. Oh my gosh.
One more time.
He already failed it?
Learn it. That's so much easier. I'm a really fast learner, trust me.
Oh no. I gotta be honest, I was better at the Guitar Hero guitar than I was at the drums. But if you want your friends to like you, then being bad at Guitar Hero is bad.
If you're a drummer, now is the perfect time of year to accidentally throw your snare drum off a roof, accidentally drag your snare drum behind your truck, and then accidentally run over your snare drum with your truck. That way, when people ask what you want for Christmas, you can say you want a new snare drum, and they can't be like, well, don't you already have one? Why do you need another?
David, you bring up a good point, but I do unfortunately have to say that destroying your snare drum, that'd be pretty infuriating. But honestly, not nearly as infuriating as the world's fastest drummers. Honestly, I'm borderline concerned to see how fast some of these drummers can play. Click here to watch some of the world's fastest drummers in action.